So students, in the last lecture, we started with the first unit of your syllabus, which is free and forced oscillations. We talked about the kind of motions that we go across, that we come across in our daily life, that is translational motion, rotational motion. Then we talked about the vibrational motion. Then starting with the vibrational motion, we also talked with the periodic motion, and then we started with the simple harmonic motion, right? So simple harmonic motion, the salient features are the motion is periodic, that is it repeats after a specific interval of time. And then very important feature, the acceleration is directly proportional to minus of displacement, means it is opposite to the direction of the displacement. And third is there is a linear restoring force in the system which always, whose tendency is to bring back to the system to the equilibrium position. Okay, so then we also discussed some examples. Then we talked about the basic parameters: amplitude, oscillation, time period, frequency, and phase. And then we derived the mathematical equation for the simple harmonic motion. Okay, so the equation was, this was the equation you can see over here. d2x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0 is the differential equation of simple harmonic motion, right? So today we are going to find out the solution of this differential equation, right? And while after deriving the solution of this differential equation of simple harmonic motion, we will go through the various parameters, like we will find the expression for the amplitude, for the time period, for the frequency, for phase, for velocity, and then for acceleration, right? So let us start with the solution of this equation, and then we will go through the different parameters. Okay, so this is solution of differential equation of simple harmonic motion. So the equation was d2x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0. This was the differential equation, this was the representation, this was the mathematical representation of simple harmonic motion, where x is the velocity, x is the displacement, t is the time, omega is the frequency, angular frequency, you can say. Okay, so we know that from the mathematics part, which you have studied in your earlier classes, in your +2 class, you might have studied the solution of this type of equations, this type of second order differential equations can be represented by x is equal to c exponential alpha t, where c and alpha are the constants, where c and alpha are the constant. Let us say this is equation number 2. So first of all, let us differentiate this equation. So dx by dt will give you c alpha exponential alpha t. Again, if you differentiate this equation, you will get d2x upon dt square is equal to c alpha square exponential alpha t. Okay, now if you substitute this value, let us say this is equation number 3, so let us substitute the value of 3 and 2 in equation number 1. So you will get the equation as d2 x by dt square is equal to this one. So this we will write here in place of this. So this will become c alpha square exponential alpha t plus omega square x. X is c exponential alpha t, which is further equal to 0. Now we can take c exponential alpha t as common outside, and then within bracket we will have alpha square plus omega square is equal to 0. Right? Now since this is the solution, this is a solution and this is a feasible solution of this equation, so it cannot be equal to 0. This solution cannot be 0, right? But in order to satisfy this equation, either this or this has to be 0, right? One of these two, the one or both of these two should be 0 in order to satisfy the equation, right? But we know that since this is not equal to 0, so it means that the quantity inside the bracket is equal to 0. Okay, so what does it mean? Alpha square plus omega square is equal to 0, which means that alpha is equal to alpha square is equal to minus of omega square, which means that alpha is equal to plus minus omega, plus minus iota omega. Okay, because if you take the under root, then under root of minus 1 will be equal to iota. Okay, so this will come out to be plus minus iota omega. So alpha is equal to plus minus iota omega. Okay, so it means that we have two values of alpha. It can be either plus iota omega or it can be either minus iota omega. So if you have two values of alpha, it means that x should also be equal, x should also be having two values. It means the solution, there will be two solutions for this equation, with plus alpha and with minus alpha. Okay, so it means that two possible solutions of equation number 2 are, or two possible solutions for equation number 1 are, two possible solutions of equation 1 are either x is equal to 0, x is equal to, sorry, c exponential iota omega t, because alpha we are taking here iota omega plus iota omega, or x should be equal to c exponential minus iota omega t, right? So these could be two possible solutions of equation number 1 of the differential equation for simple harmonic motion, right? Also, if we have any linear combination of these two solutions, that will also be a solution, because you might have studied in mathematics that if you have two different solutions, the linear combination of those two solutions will also be a solution for the differential equation. So it means if we combine these two solutions, we will get x is equal to, let's say c1, c here with this is c1, and exponential iota omega t plus c2 exponential minus iota omega t. Okay, where c1 and c2 are constants. c1 and c2 are constants. Okay, this equation, let us say this equation is let's say equation number let's say this is equation number 4 and equation number 5. Okay, so this equation could be further written as, because we know that We know the values of exponential iota omega t and exponential minus iota omega t. If you have studied complex numbers in your earlier classes, you might be knowing that exponential iota omega t is equal to cos omega t plus iota sin omega t, and exponential minus iota omega t is equal to cos omega t minus iota sin omega t, right? So we can expand it in terms of sine and cos omega t. So this will become x is equal to c1 into cos of omega t plus iota sine of omega t plus c2 cos omega t minus iota sine omega t. Okay, we have just expanded this and this. So this is totally from mathematics. There is no physics behind this. Okay, so now this could further be rearranged as c1, see cos omega t is also here, cos omega t is also here. So we can say that c1 plus c2 cos omega t plus similarly here we have sin omega t, here we have sin omega t. So we can take iota c1 minus iota c2 as outside, and then we have sin omega t as common quantity. Okay, so this is another rearrangement of this equation. Okay, now what we are going to do is, because this is a constant value and this is also a constant value, we are going to replace this by some quantity. Let us replace this c1 plus c2 is equal to a sine phi, where phi is known as the phase, and phase, this is a constant phase difference between two waves. Okay, so this is c1 plus c2 is equal to a sine phi. We are substituting it, we are doing a substitution over here, and then iota c1 minus iota c2, this we are substituting as a cos phi, right? So if we are doing this substitution, this equation will become x is equal to a sine phi cos omega t plus a cos phi sin omega t, right? Now what is this? This is sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So what is this? How could you write this? Yes, any one of you?
A sin A plus B, sin
Yes,
A plus
yes,
cos.
yes. So this is a sin omega t plus phi. Okay, this is your final equation. This is your final solution of equation of differential equation of simple harmonic motion, right? So this equation gives the displacement of a particle executing simple harmonic motion at any instant of time t, right? This gives you displacement of a particle executing simple harmonic motion at time t. Okay, so this we can say, let us say this is equation number 6. Okay, one more thing, see, from both of these equations, if you want to find out the value of a, you can do that, right? What would be a? If you square this and square this and then you add both of them, you will get the value of a, right? So a square, this a square will be equal to this square plus this square, means the quantity over here which is attached with the first term, and the quantity over here which is attached with the second term. If it is A, if it is let's say B, then A square is equal to small a square plus B square. Okay, so this you have to remember, because in numericals, while solving the numericals, you are going to use this. Okay. Okay, so now this is the solution of the differential equation for simple harmonic motion, right? Now from this equation, we are going to talk about the amplitude, we are going to talk about the time period, we are going to talk about the frequency, then phase, then velocity, and then acceleration. So let us do it one by one. What is amplitude? So here in this equation number 5, the quantity A is known as, is called amplitude. Amplitude means the maximum displacement which can take place in simple harmonic motion, right? This is the maximum displacement which can take place. Right? And we also find out the magnitude. This way you can find out the magnitude of A also. So here, sorry, this is A, not A square. So A is equal to this under root of this quantity with this constant which is here and this quantity which is here. So you can say that A is equal to under root of A square plus B square, right? So this is amplitude. Then time period. Time period. See, time period we can talk about it from this equation. I told you simple harmonic motion, this is periodically repeating, right? If the particle is at here at some instant of time, right, and then after let's say 5 seconds it is coming back to this position P, let's say this is Q, right? So it means that, and after from this P it is again coming back to this point Q, and this total time taken by this motion is, let's say, 10 seconds, then 10 seconds is the time period of vibration, right? So the time taken for one complete revolution for the particle is the time period. Okay, so we can find out the value of time period from this solution as well, from x is equal to a sin omega t plus 5. So if you replace in this equation, if you replace t by t plus omega t, what will happen? Replace t by t plus omega t, omega by w, omega by 2 pi by omega. So what will happen if you are replacing t by t plus 2 pi by omega in this equation, in equation number 6? What will happen? Can you explain? Can anybody tell me what will happen to equation number 6? X is equal to a sine of omega, and now instead of t we are going to write t plus 2 pi upon omega plus phi is already there. So this is equal to a sine, and inside the bracket we have omega t plus 2 pi
plus theta plus phi.
plus phi. Okay. So what is this? This is simply omega t plus phi को एक तरफ ले लो. So 2 pi plus theta. What is sine of 2 pi plus theta? It is again sine theta, right? Sine of 2 pi plus theta. If you take this plus this as theta, then sine of 2 pi plus theta is again equal to sine of theta. So this will become a sine of omega t plus phi. What does it mean? It means that if the motion is repeated after this interval of time, then again the displacement will be same, right? So what is the period of motion? The period of motion is this one, 2 pi upon omega. Okay, so the motion is periodically repeating after 2 pi upon omega. So therefore, the time period of simple harmonic motion is equal to 2 pi upon omega. Okay. We also know that omega square is equal to what? K upon m. This we have talked about. If you remember, while going through the differential equation of simple harmonic motion, we had done a substitution. K by m is equal to omega square, right? K by m, where K was force constant and m was mass of the particle. So this we have done while talking about the differential equation of simple harmonic motion. While deriving the differential equation of simple harmonic motion, we have done this substitution. So omega square is equal to K upon m. So if you do this substitution over here, then time period will come out to be T is equal to 2 pi upon 2 pi, or you can say under root of m upon k, because omega is equal to under root of k upon m. So if you substitute this value of omega over here, this value of time period will come out. Okay, so time period is equal to this for simple harmonic motion. Then similarly, third one is frequency. So frequency is always defined as the, yes.
Can you go to the last slide for just 1 second?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. Done. Thank you.
Okay, great. So frequency is always inverse of time period. You might be knowing that, right? The number of revolutions completed in 1 second. So this is n is equal to 1 upon t. So this, which is further equal to t. We know that t is 2 pi upon omega. So this must be equal to omega upon 2 pi. And which should be equal to, if you substitute the value of omega over here, this will come out to be 1 upon 2 pi under root of k upon m. So this is the frequency of simple harmonic motion. N is equal to 2 pi under root of k upon m. Please do remember that k is the force constant, m is the mass of the particle. Okay. Similarly, we can talk about the phase. So in this equation, in the solution of simple harmonic motion, which was, the equation was x is equal to a sine omega t plus phi. So if you see this equation carefully, this quantity is known as the phase. This is called the phase of the vibrating particle. Okay. So after this phase means what? I told you in the last lecture also. Phase means the quantity which is describing the direction as well as the position of the particle at particular instant of time. Let's say if the motion is repeating like this. Okay. So at this time, let's say t1, what is the direction? And means what is the value of theta, as well as what is the position of the particle. Similarly, if the particle is present at this point at this particular moment of time t2, then it should be defined at this position also, right? So the quantity phase is used to define the particle at this particular time, at any particular time, and at any direction, at any position. Okay, so this quantity is known as phase. Phase is defined by omega t plus phi, right? If you see over here, omega t plus phi is the phase at time t is equal to 0. At time t is equal to 0, What should be the value of phase? Phase is equal to phi, right? Means that if we are starting the motion, let's say we are starting the motion from this point, and here we are assuming that t is equal to 0. So here the phase will be phi. Okay, but at any other instant of time, at any other position, at any other direction, if you want to define the phase, then this is the quantity which is used to define the phase, omega t plus phi. Okay, after that, come to the next one, which is velocity. So fifth one is velocity. So velocity, because we know that displacement is equal to x, which is equal to a sine omega t plus phi. So we can find out the velocity by using this, because we know that velocity is the differentiation of x with respect to time. So velocity is equal to dx by dt, which is equal to a omega cos of omega t plus phi. If you differentiate this equation, we know that differentiation of sine theta is cos theta, and omega we can take it outside. So this a omega cos omega t plus phi is the differentiation, and this is the velocity of the moving particle. We can also simplify this. This could be written as is equal to a omega, and cos theta could be written as 1 minus sine theta. So this is 1 minus sine square omega t plus phi, which is further equal to omega, and then a can go inside the bracket, so that it will become a square minus a square sine square omega t plus phi. So this will become v velocity is equal to omega, and then inside we can have a square minus, if you see this carefully, what is this? This is x. This is x square rather, right? A square sine square, because x is equal to this one. X is equal to a sine of omega t plus phi. So if we do x square, you will get a square sine square omega t plus phi. So this is x square. So this equation gives you the velocity of the particle at any displacement x, right? So velocity is equal to omega a square minus x square. One important thing that we should not forget here, that maximum velocity is obtained by putting x is equal to 0. See, this velocity is totally dependent upon this factor, right? This minus x square. So larger the value of x, smaller will be the velocity. Lower the value of x, velocity will be higher. So if x is equal to 0, if x is equal to 0, you will get the maximum velocity.
Acceleration
right?
will be maximum.
Yeah. So you'll get, so first let us talk about velocity, then we will also come to the acceleration. So this, if x is equal to 0, means that v is equal to omega a. Okay. So this is the maximum velocity. This is the maximum velocity, and this velocity will be at the mean position. At the mean position. Okay, however, at the extreme position will happen. Extreme position means if we are starting the motion from here, this is the mean position and this is the extreme position, right? So at extreme position, x becomes a, because that is the amplitude of vibration, right? And if you put x is equal to a in this equation, then v become minimum, because in that situation velocity will be equal to 0. Okay, if you put x is equal to a over here, then velocity will become minimum. Okay, so, and this is the extreme position. Similarly, we can also interpret the acceleration. So if we talk about acceleration, the situation will be like this. Yes, so if we talk about acceleration, see, we have x is equal to a sine of omega t plus phi, which is the displacement. When we differentiated this, we get the velocity. So velocity is equal to dx by dt, which was equal to uh, a omega cos of omega t plus phi, right? Now when we again differentiate this equation, we will get the acceleration. So acceleration is equal to dv by dt, which is further equal to minus a omega square sine omega t plus phi, right? Which means a is equal to minus omega square, and what was this? This a into this is again x, so you can substitute it over here. Okay, so this equation gives you the acceleration of the oscillating particle at any displacement x from the mean position, right? Now for maximum acceleration, see, this minus sign gives you just a direction, right? It means that acceleration is acting in a opposite direction to that of the displacement, right? So if you talk about the maximum acceleration, so maximum, for a maximum acceleration, x is equal to a, that is the extreme position. Therefore, a maximum is equal to omega square a, right? If you substitute x is equal to a over here, so you'll get the maximum acceleration at extreme. And similarly, minimum acceleration is obtained by putting, see, when x is equal to 0, a will also be equal to 0. So for x is equal to 0, acceleration will be minimum, a minimum, which is equal to 0, and this will happen at mean position. Right? Okay, so this is the total interpretation of the simple harmonic motion. We talked about the differential equation for simple harmonic motion. Let us see. First, we talked about the differential equation of the simple harmonic motion, and the differential equation was this one: d2 d2x upon dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0. Then we talked about the solution of this differential equation, right? We find out the solution for this differential equation, and the solution for this equation was this one: x is equal to c1 exponential iota omega t plus c2 exponential minus iota omega t. This is the solution for the differential equation of simple harmonic motion. Then using this simplifying this solution, we one, right? So this is the simplified solution of the differential equation for simple harmonic motion, and using this solution, this gives you x gives you displacement. So we came to the displacement, right? By using the displacement and by using this solution, we talked about the amplitude, the time period, the frequency, phase, velocity, and acceleration, right? So amplitude is a is equal to this one. Time period we find out time period 2 pi upon omega is the time period by which the motion is being repeated periodically. Frequency is 1 upon t. So again we came to the to an expression for frequency as well. We talked about the phase. Phase is something which is describing the particle at any instant of time, at any direction, at any position. Then we talked about the velocity. We come to know that velocity is equal to this one. So this is the expression for velocity. V is equal to this, and then we talked about the maximum velocity, the minimum velocity, and then we talked about acceleration. We talked about the maximum acceleration and minimum acceleration. Yeah, is that fine, students? Any doubt over here? Yes, students, any doubt? Great. Now I am giving you one numerical which you have to solve, and this is very simple. Based upon the things that we have done in today's lecture, you can solve this numerical very easily. So the question is, if the displacement of a moving particle at any time t is given by x is equal to a cos omega t plus b sin omega t, show that the motion is simple harmonic. So that the motion is simple harmonic if a is equal to 3 centimeter, b is equal to 4 centimeter, omega is equal to 2 per second. Find the time period maximum velocity and maximum acceleration. Okay, so you have 5 minutes. Please do it and share your solution with me. Yes, students, can you do it? Or if you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, great. Then you have 5 minutes. Please do it.
Yes, ma'am, we got the answer.
Please share your answer.
Yes, time period equals to pi second.
Sorry, time. What is the value of time period?
Pi.
Pi. Okay.
Maximum velocity 10, ma'am.
Velocity. Yeah, maximum velocity is 10 centimeter per second.
Yes, ma'am. Acceleration 20.
Yes, maximum acceleration is 20 centimeter per second square. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So, how many of you came to this solution? Okay, no issue. Take your time. You have 2-3 minutes more. So first you have to prove that this is a simple harmonic motion. right? So how will you prove it? See, you can prove it if you can show that acceleration is equal to minus omega x. If you prove this, this means that this motion is simple harmonic in nature, right? So what is x? X is a cos omega t plus b sine omega t, right? Differentiate it, double differentiate it, and then you will get this one. Okay, so dx by dt is equal to minus omega a sine omega t plus omega b cos omega t. If you again differentiate this, this will come out to be d2x upon dt square, which is acceleration, and which is further equal to minus omega square a cos omega t minus omega square b sine omega t, which is equal to minus, we can take outside, minus omega square we can take common, and inside the bracket you are having a cos omega t plus b sine omega t. Okay, so what is this? The term inside the bracket is simply x. So this is equal to minus omega square x, right? So if the acceleration, I told you in the beginning also, if the acceleration is directly proportional to x and it is in opposite direction, then it means that the motion is simple harmonic in nature. So we proved that the motion is simple harmonic in nature, right? Now in order to find the amplitude, in order to find the time period, velocity and acceleration, we must be requiring the amplitude, right? So amplitude could be find out by using a is equal to small a square plus small b square, which is equal to what? A and b is 3 and 4. So this will come out to be, if you substitute the values, this will become 3 square plus 4 square under root, which is equal to 5. Now time period is 2 pi by omega. Okay, so put the values and this will become 3.14. Okay, and then maximum velocity is what? Omega a. Yes, so this will come out to be 10 centimeter per second. Then maximum acceleration is omega square. Yes, and this will come out to be 20
meters.
Okay, okay, so that's all for today, students. If you have any doubt, please ask me.
Can you